What is up, my beautiful, lovely, amazing human beings, my beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. It's Keara, or Keara. This is kind of an Ask Keara episode, but kind of not, because it wasn't like a recent post that I did where I was like, send me in questions. This is just a question that I've literally been getting since I started my YouTube channel. How do I know if I'm lesbian or bisexual? And I think a big reason for me not making this video earlier is because I wasn't sure myself if I was lesbian or bisexual. I wasn't sure which label really suited me better, but now I realize I'm queer. Anyway, let's get into it. I set this video up kind of like a quiz. So grab a pen and paper, sit down, and let's chat. I'm going to be posing a few questions that could help you decide whether you are lesbian or bisexual. Now, I just want to preface this with, you don't have to choose between the two, and in fact, you don't have to choose any label at all if you don't want to. I always say this in my videos because there is literally no obligation for you to actually choose a label. You can just be you. But I know that a lot of you are going through a lot of contemplation and soul searching and trying to figure out what your sexuality is, and that is perfectly okay, and that is actually very exciting. When I was doing that for the first time, it was nerve-wracking, it was scary, but at the same time, it's really exciting. You're becoming closer to who you actually are, you know? You're realizing a lot of things about yourself that you didn't know before. It's a wonderful time, so enjoy it. But also, don't stress out, because
I got you.
I got you, okay?
I got you.
The more I listen to I got you, it sounds like a alien language.
At the end of the day, you are the one who decides your own label for yourself. I cannot tell you what your label is. You are the only person that knows you, and you are the only person that's allowed to label yourself. So this I'm putting up to you, but I will ask a few questions that might help you get to that conclusion. All right, friends. Let's go. Question number one. When you see an attractive guy, are you attracted to him in a way that you'd want to kiss him, be in a relationship with him, fantasize about his body maybe? Or is it just like a surface level, oh yes, I think this person is objectively attractive, but I'm not necessarily attracted to him? Two different things. We could also bring in the factor of compulsory heterosexuality, which is the societal ideal that the default sexuality is heterosexual, that we are taught as children, especially in religious environments, wink wink. And in that case, if you are anything other than heterosexual, you're sinning.
Which is completely damaging for, queer youth.
So because of that reason, a lot of people, and a lot of women in particular, think that they have to be attracted to men.
And even if we don't realize it, we were just subconsciously programmed that since the day we were born.
But that doesn't take away from the fact that bisexuality is a real and true identity that is valid in itself.
My YouTuber friend, Brian Williamson, explains this beautifully in one of her videos that I will link below, where she talks about a common misconception of bisexuality is people think that bisexuality is the stepping stone sexuality before someone comes out as a lesbian. But that is completely incorrect, because bisexuality stands alone as its own identity and is not just the stepping stone to becoming a lesbian after.
Moving on. Question number two. This question is a little bit,
PG-13.
So if you're uncomfortable talking about, sex, click off. What do you think about when you
Pleasure yourself.
This was a big one for me. Are you thinking about women? Are you thinking about a woman doing something to you? Or are you thinking about you doing something to a woman, which is always what I think about? Or do you fantasize about both, men and women, on the same topic of
sex?
If you watch porn. I don't know if I'm gonna get demonetized if I say this word. What kind do you watch? Girls with girls only? A girl and a guy, but you only watch the girl? Or a girl and a guy, but you are watching both the girl and the guy? I don't mind talking about sex on my channel, but I'm always scared I'm gonna get demonetized. I should make a few videos that are like sex related that like aren't gonna get monetized anyway, so I might as well talk about it. Let me know if you want that sort of video, because I will do that. So comment below if you want that kind of video. Next question. When you picture your future self in a relationship or married, do you see yourself with a woman only? Or have you pictured both equally? Maybe one over the other, but still both? And try not to think about what society would want from you. Try not to think about what your family would want from you. Think about what you genuinely would want for yourself in the future. And that could give you a good indication. Next question is, were you taught as a kid that one or both of these labels are wrong and dirty? Because if that's the case, you could have some sort of internal prejudice against one of the labels, whichever one it may be, and that could be preventing you from identifying with it. For example, if you were raised and you were taught that, you know, lesbians were predatory, or, you know, being a lesbian was only related to sex or porn, and growing up you weren't taught the true meaning of what a lesbian is. You could have internalized lesbophobia. Is that how you say it? Lesbian phobia? I have no idea. It's internalized homophobia. Or if the tables were turned and you were taught as a kid that, you know, bisexuality was a phase, or it was an excuse to cheat on your partner, or whatever it may be, that could also be preventing you from identifying with bisexual, because you could have internalized biphobia. Next question. When you get crushes or consider talking to a person in a flirty way, do you consider their gender at all? Is that a factor when you first start talking to someone? Or do you mainly just focus on who the person is, their soul? This could also be pansexuality. Or do you find yourself always leaning towards women, talking to women, and you're not really interested in talking to men? Or are you only talking to men because that's just what your friends are doing, or what society has taught you to do? The next question is, take a look at the YouTubers you watch and the people that you look up to and really resonate with. Pay attention to the people who you resonate with's identity. Did I say that right? People who you resonate with? I feel like that's not a word. If you really identify with someone's story, let's say a YouTuber, a celebrity, a friend, and you see yourself in them, this could be a good indication that you might have the same sexuality as them. I know this because when I was discovering my sexuality, I was watching a lot of Melanie Murphy. I just resonated with everything she was going through. That I kind of like turned inwards and I was like, oh, I'm bisexual.
Comment below if I was your Melanie Murphy.
I really wish I had a video like this when I was coming to terms with my sexuality, because I wanted someone to like give me, excuse me, I wanted someone to like ask me these hard-hitting questions so that I could look inward and answer them myself. You could have answered all of these questions and still you don't think that you suit a certain label, and that is completely okay, and there should be no one telling you that you have to. Bisexuality is real and valid. Lesbians are real and valid. Pansexuals are real and valid. There are also a ton of other identities that, you know, aren't as popular as, you know, bisexuality or gay. There's romantic attraction and sexual attraction. And I believe there are some other attractions as well. And you could have different attractions for different genders. I hope these questions helped you. I love you. Make sure you give this video a like, give it a comment, give it a subscribe, turn on the post notifications, and all that good stuff. Only good vibes, sending out all the good vibes to you. Mwah. Okay, I love you. Bye.